and a whole lot more.
Well, hello everybody. Hi. The E3 train still continues on. We've got Capcom going up in about 10 seconds with their showcase. What do I expect with Capcom? No, hold on. Who really knows? It's starting right now. We'll see what they got to show. You know, I'm not expecting the world with Capcom, so we'll see what they got in the books. It's like Capcom, you know, they got Street Fighter, they got Onimusha, they got Mega Man, so they have some heavy hitters. So only time will tell what they got to show today. Like I said, I'm gonna go in, no expectations.
Welcome to the Capcom E3 Showcase.
Let's see.
I'm your host, Rachel Querico,
Ace Attorney, I'm seeing that. I'm seeing some Village. Seeing Monster Hunter.
And updates from Capcom. We'll hear from the Resident Evil Village team, share some news from the world of Monster Hunter, and get the latest on Ace Attorney. Then we'll wrap up with some updates from our friends at Capcom Fighters. So what are we waiting for?
Yeah, what's Capcom Fighters got? Street Fighter DLC.
Resident Evil Village. The Resident Evil franchise continues
Great game.
to pioneer the latest and greatest in survival horror. The team has been blown away by the response to Resident Evil Village, which launched last month. It brought the world another chapter in this decades-long story as the franchise celebrates its 25th anniversary this year. I'm honored to be able to introduce Tsuyoshi Kanda.
Dang, I'm older than
producer on
Resident Evil. Dang.
with a special message.
I'm old.
Another time. Bye-bye. There's nothing to fear.
Where's Rose? She's everything to me.
Oh god. Oh no. House Beneviento. That section was so that was my favorite section in the entire game. That section was really cool. But it was awful getting through that first time.
Hi everyone, my name is Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer on Resident Evil.
Here's what they got to show.
I wanted to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's played since we launched the game in May. We hope you
Still playing it.
this new chapter in survival horror. As a reminder, everyone who purchases Resident Evil Village will gain free access to our online multiplayer title, Resident Evil Reverse, where
Maybe it'll look
will
better.
head to head with
Oh
their
no,
favorite
it
Resident
still
Evil
looks weird.
heroes and bioweapons. I'm now happy to announce that Resident Evil Reverse will go live next month across all supported platforms. So head into the fray to.
It's like I'll check it out. It's like it's free.
Anniversary.
But I remember when they showed it, it wasn't looking too hot. Yep, I figured it was gonna be more. It's like you can't have that game and not have any kind of DLC for it. Especially that RE7 had a lot of DLC.
Update. Next up, some long-awaited news from the world of Monster Hunter. Whether it's adventuring alongside monsters
They're
or
gonna show
battling them with
stories
friends,
again.
we've got something for you. First, let's dive
Yep.
into the brand new story-based RPG entry to the series, Monster Hunter Stories.
This is coming out soon, so it makes
of
sense.
Ruin.
Whoa, I gotta hurt my eye. Damn, Capcom's taking me out. Do we really need that flash like that? I would have really liked a warning about that.
This was his fate. Red may have been strong and skilled, but against the awesome power of nature, he was merely a man. He never stood a chance.
All around, things just kept getting worse. But I heard that Guardian Ratha had survived and returned to Hekolu Island. I went there to see Red's old monster again. Then, of course, that's when I met you.
You were given Red's kinship stone and now a Rathalos egg. This is destiny.
No, this is Monster Hunter.
This is the legendary monster.
I'm sorry for that bad joke.
The monster with the wings of ruin. beat of its wings can bring about waves of destruction.
Many people believe there's a connection between the strange happenings and the wings of ruin. The pits are appearing everywhere, and they're emitting a strange light.
What's this whole idea of forming kinship with monsters? How do you control them?
It's not about control.
So it's like Pokemon Monster Hunter.
Of their own will. And the bonds between monsters and riders are just
It's like, I'm down with
your
that.
bond with Tsukino.
What kind of power does Ratha really have? Why are all of these pits appearing? And who are those people who want to take Ratha for themselves? All I have are questions.
If there's worry or doubt in your voice, Ratha will become anxious too. He needs to know that you will protect him no matter what.
I can sense the flames of his life force weakening. The burden of such great power is too much for his body to bear.
A voice. Can you hear it?
Riders can bond with monsters. Surely you can groove with fellow humans.
They have the power of kinship. They're friends. They're monsties. Humans carry the strength of everyone they
Monsties.
meet. That makes them strong. My friends here taught me that.
A lot of story they're showing.
I believe in the strength of humanity.
So that's a pretty lengthy trailer. But I do know this is coming out really soon. Monster Hunter Stories 2. Wings of Ruin. Featuring free title updates. And I believe this is a Switch exclusive too. New Monster Palamute. Trial version available June 25th. Oh, nice. All right. I'll get to try it out. I do want to play this game at least to check it out. It looks pretty good. Oh yeah, the amiibos that we're not going to be able to get because they're going to be sold out instantly. But even then, like, I only go for the Zelda ones. Yeah, July 9th. That's real soon.
Looks pretty epic, right? And how about that
I would have just said pretty good. I wouldn't. I don't say epic anymore. This isn't 2009.
Monster Hunter Stories 2 as one of the new
Is epic coming
monsters,
back?
the first
Like
free
that
title
word?
update
Because, you know,
coming soon
Microsoft
after
said
the
it during their
game's
show at the Halo
release. You
campaign.
can get an early peek at
They
the
added in
game with
text
the
like
Monster
epic
Hunter Stories
campaign.
2 Wings of Ruin
So
trial
is
version,
epic just coming
starting
back
June
into the
25th.
vocabulary
It
again?
also carries your progress over to the full game release just a few weeks later on July 9th. That's not the only way to join the hunt. Millions of you made Monster Hunter Rise a huge success earlier this year, and we have even more content coming, including a new collaboration on the Rise. Let's find out more.
Mila Jovovich is now in Rise 2.
Let's go! This is for my fellow hunters!
Yeah, we saw this coming. With the collaboration with that game. Which makes sense.
No want, Moon's blessing emerge.
But I did like the Capcom collab 1. It's like, what other collaborations we getting?
I have a good feeling.
Getting like a Mega Man skin.
Blessing emerge.
Get the Samanosuke skin. The Jubei Yagyu skin. Alright, let me stop at Onimusha. Let me just stop right there. .1. My backlog isn't looking so crazy. I need to get this game. I need to pick it up. It came at a bad time. There's like a lot of games out. And just my backlog was really bad. It's still bad, but it's getting there.
Kamura is like my second home.
You think you can take on Rondine?
Collab 2 December. Oh, I've got a steady stream of stuff coming for that game for a bit.
Never been a better time to be a Monster Hunter fan. With all the new updates to Monster
It's like
Hunter
Capcom's gotten better with
and the
DLC
launch of Monster Hunter
compared to
Stories 2 this summer.
2010s, because they were messing it up.
That's not the only thing Capcom has in store for us this July. Fans of Phoenix Wright will have new chapters to explore with the release of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. North American and European future attorneys will finally be able to get their hands on the Great Ace Attorney Adventures and the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, which were previously only available in Japan. You'll travel back in time.
They finally came stateside.
Japan and London to play as Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
There's a lot of games I want that are just gonna be stuck in Japan forever. It's like I really would love Dragon Quest X to come out here, but Square's still like, oh, we haven't decided if it's gonna come stateside. Like, bring it state. I want to play it.
Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
This country is incredible. I will become a lawyer. I have to.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder.
Who are you?
Herlock Sholmes. You must have heard of him.
We must solve this case, Naruhodo-san.
Herlock
Let us engage in
Sholmes.
the art of deduction, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, what have we here? It would seem the truth is now tantalizingly close.
The defense demands its right to a cross-examination. Objection. Your testimony
Objection.
completely contradicts the facts.
Good gracious. It's gonna be a good game.
My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage.
I don't need to see any more. I'm set. This is gonna be a good game. It's gonna be great.
You're the best lawyer in the world.
PS4, Switch, Steam. Yep.
So we have 10 new cases and 8 mini escapades where you can take on the role of a defense attorney. Now, we all want to see some gameplay, right? Let's take a closer first look at
No, I'm already buying it.
features new to the franchise in the Great Ace
I don't need to
Attorney
see it. I'm buying it.
Dance of Deduction and Summation Examination.
Minor spoilers may be included.
I'm Jonathan.
I already said I don't want to see it.
Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
So like, you'd be watching a segment like this, just
Where to?
The Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
The Capcom team is thrilled to present 2 new gameplay features, Dance of Deduction and Summation Examination, coming to the Ace Attorney series.
While investigating to prove your client's innocence, players will come across conspicuous situations that require further examination with the help of Ryunosuke's legal aid Susato and the brilliance of deduction from Detective Herlock. Herlock will proceed to present his logic and reasoning spectacular, a grandiose yet flawed series of conjectures.
Ryunosuke and Susato will then discuss to correct the flaws in Herlock's deductions. At this point, players will be prompted to search for clues that help identify the errors in the detective's logic and reveal the truth to the mystery.
That's pretty nice.
As players present new evidence and observations, Herlock will amend his deductions based on the new information. Upon uncovering the truth, Ryunosuke and Herlock enter into a semi-metaphorical, semi-literal dance that brings them to the conclusion of the dance of deduction.
Music's good on this. Spoilers. Minor spoilers ahead. We're just gonna ruin this part. This is probably really early in the game because I feel like people would have figured this out like fast. Because that hair would have just been like, oh, it's right there.
In courtroom battles, players will attempt to convince 6 jurors of the innocence of their client. Their progress will be displayed and represented by 2 scales of justice, one black, representing a guilty verdict, and one white, representing a not guilty verdict.
Objection!
In Summation Examination, take the stand to face off against the jurors, all of whom provide explanations as to why they've reached their guilty verdict.
You'll have to identify conflicting statements and sway the jury in your favor. Examine each statement carefully and select 2 contradicting jurors to call out the flaws in their logic.
I kind of like that they're showing this. It's like, I understand they're going to show gameplay, but it's just like, show like looking for clues. Don't show like which juries and which part of this is going to actually be the right one for the story.
When you successfully point out one of these contradictions among the jurors, you might just change their minds too.
I honestly should have just looked away, but it's too late now. It's not going to ruin the game for me, but I'm just like, I like being able to deduce this stuff on my own.
The jury to help prove your client's innocence.
Objection! My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage!
This has just been a small taste of the exciting new gameplay features in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are very excited to get this game in the hands of both new fans and diehard fans alike. Thanks for watching.
All right, I'm there.
It already seems like I have a bunch of games to catch up on. There are some exciting new adventures and titles to look forward to. Well, that's a look at the new premieres from Capcom, but what about esports? Let's close out today's showcase with a few words from 2 of the stars of Capcom fighters.
Pretty short.
They'll tell us what's been going on with Capcom esports, including updates on the Capcom
people,
Tour, Intel World
oh, what
Open,
people dipping on the stream.
League, and all the other content on Capcom Fighters. Over to you guys.
It was dropping. It was at like 35,000. Now it dropped down to 31. Ooh, yeah, people ain't feeling it. But you know what? That's why I said go into this thing no expectations. Because you go in like, oh, we're gonna see Onimusha, we're gonna see Mega Man, we're gonna see Marvel vs. Capcom 5. We gonna see Mega Man Legends 3. We gonna see every Capcom game come back. It's like, nah. We gonna see Street Fighter 6. We gonna see Street Fighter 5 PS5 port. We gonna see Street Fighter EX collection. We gonna see.
From 100 all the way down to 0 and feel pretty goddamn good doing it.
That's right, Rob. If you think you're the best in your region, sign up for Capcom Pro Tour.
You waited too long. Had you hit me up back in like 2000, like like 2009, 10 to about maybe 14, you would have had me. Competition's still too good now.
That's not what's really at stake here. It's about making it to the granddaddy of them all, Capcom Cup.
So you got to fight a lot of good players to get to that top spot, and I ain't getting the number one.
You can see in all of its glory the Capcom Pro Tour 2021 official stage and set, and that's a place that you are very familiar with.
That's right. We take all of our events and broadcast it live from this stage, and we check out all of the top competitors from each and every one of these regions. And speaking of, the Capcom Pro Tour has shaped up a lot. 2021, we have 32 events going on in the Capcom Pro Tour, spanning across 19 different territories.
Online?
So many opportunities for players from
I do know it is going to be online, but it's just like, they're doing it in person, because Street Fighter 5 online ain't consistent.
Not only can you catch the Capcom Pro Tour live on the Capcom Fighters channel, you can do
The only thing consistent with Street Fighter 5's online is that it's consistently terrible. Like, you can never get, like, it's pretty rare when I get a good connection. Like, it's like, I don't know, it's always laggy, and
We have No Neutral, the official pre-show of the Capcom Pro Tour. We have sets where we take players from around the world and play off in an exhibition first to 10. Not only that, actually, we do have Street Fighter League that's happened season after season, non-stop action, 6 teams of 3, duke it out in this battle tournament series to see who will walk away with the championship and the $150,000 prize pool.
Street Fighter League is something that you don't want to miss because normally we only have 1v1 content. But now you actually have your teammates at your back, and every decision that you make is not just about you anymore.
Look for more news on Street Fighter League later this year.
It's Oki time. What's gonna happen? Nice. He checks it. He checks the movement. What's happening?
It's so good.
Let's not forget.
yeah, it dropped. The stream dropped like 5,000, 6,000 people.
11 regions around the world are competing for their place in the World Finals happening next month. Be sure to check out.
It would be really funny if the Capcom did end it off like this. Just like, all right, Monster Hunter Stories is coming out next month. Rise is getting DLC. Village is getting DLC, which we expected. Ace Attorney got the new game coming next month. Capcom Cup. And then it ends there. That would. Oh, that would be really funny.
We started off with the Japan region. We've had a couple of more events going on afterwards. But
If so, it's like, man, Capcom, you shouldn't have even done a presentation. You should have just announced it solo.
I know you're definitely excited about that.
100%. I mean, of course, your boy is from Ohio. Make sure you guys tune in to see the tournament.
You do not want to miss some of the best Street Fighter 5
Because, like,
in the world.
Man, like, when you come to E3, you got to come with at least something. It's like, it doesn't always have to be like crazy reveals, but you gotta have more than like an esports trailer like for the Capcom Pro Tour.
This game has changed the lives of so many people here.
Well, I will say, watching these tournaments in person, they're really good. I remember watching the one at PSX. Hey, I was at that one. It was really dope. Just the hype of the crowd and all that. Like, it's really good seeing it in like the huge arena type environment.
And I can't wait to see how this plays out on the road to Capcom Cup. Remember to check out Capcom Fighters' Twitch and YouTube channels for more information and to watch the latest matches. So that's a wrap for Capcom at E3 this year. Let's recap what we all saw.
Huh? It wasn't that long.
Village is back with the latest installment of the survival horror experience and RE Verse as part of the franchise's 25th anniversary. We have new adventures to embark on in the world of Monster Hunter with Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin, and Monster Hunter Rise. And don't forget to go back in time with the great Ace Attorney Chronicles to tap into the family history of Phoenix Wright and solve new cases.
Gonna be a pretty good game.
Don't miss out on the esports fun.
Why are all the conferences ending like the little thing you see before a movie starts? You just experienced Nuvi. You saw Law and Order SVU. We caught up with blank blank blank.
All these videos again and more.
Thanks for coming early, and make sure next time you come early to see Nuvi. It's really like that. Whew, what a non-event. Like, Village DLC, I figured we were going to get that. Like, I talked about it last night with some people. Just like, we're going to see Village DLC. They're not going to leave that game just as is there. There's going to be... stop showing that. That's really stupid to do that flashing thing. If it's hurting my eyes, it's probably hurting somebody else's. Ugh. Check out our virtual booth. Yeah, well,
what's up, everyone? I'm Stella Chung, and in today's fix, Starfield
all right,
makes a splash of the...
Let's turn that. Let's move over back to here, and I'll lower this down a bit more. Yeah, that was Capcom's. Not too much to say, honestly. You know, like I said, like there's RE Village stuff. I figured we were gonna get DLC for that. Obviously, not anytime soon, which I do love. I know some people are probably gonna be mad. It's like, wait, the DLC is not coming like soon. I'm like, you know what? I like that. Because I really don't like it when a game comes out and like 2 weeks or like a month after the fact, there's DLC. I remember with RE7, I hated that because there is DLC a week after the game dropped. And it's like, okay, why couldn't you put this in the main game? You could have had it where this extra little side content could be something for completing the game. Like back in the day, you know, you beat Onimusha 2, you get a lot of extra little side content and little modes. They're a little fun. But RE7's like, no, you gotta pay for this DLC. It's week after. It's like, so it means it already was developed and already primed and ready. Put it in the game. But I'm completely fine with the DLC just being announced. That means they're working on it now. It's not something they did and had ready. So it really will be like, all right, when I'm finally out of RE Village, they're gonna bring me back in, which I kind of like rather than I'm in the game all in, DLC, and I don't check on it for a good minute. But, yeah, this is, okay. You know, Monster Hunter Stories looks good. I do like, I do like what I'm seeing of that game. I want to check that trial out when that comes out at the end of the month. Ace Attorney, I really want to play that game. That looks dope. That was pretty much it, honestly. Not too much. I do know Capcom is working on stuff. I've heard rumors and rumblings of like Street Fighter 6 that they had to restart development on that. And well, who knows? You know, Capcom always has stuff in the works. You know, so we'll see. They have a lot of teams. So it might have not have been this E3. And obviously, to keep in mind too, just you know, COVID is still there. And people aren't really back in the office working on stuff, so things are slowed down. So, you know, honestly, I kind of expect that there's not going to be anything. It's like, you know, it's better that it start working on it when things are safe. So, yeah. So, yeah, in terms of a presentation, just like, not really too much to say. Honestly, this one's like a D for me. Like, they showed some nice stuff, but as a watch, just like that esports part at the end, like we didn't need that much of a trailer for the Capcom Pro Tour. But you know, I'm not gonna say anything else. Yeah, so that's gonna be it for me here. This was the shortest one. Wow, it's about to be 30 minutes. I'm gonna see if I can get it right before. So thanks for watching. I'll see you later on. Tomorrow. Yeah, screw. I'm not gonna make it to 30 minutes. I'm not gonna speed this up. Tomorrow, Nintendo. Yes. Nintendo. We're ready. That should be a pretty nice one. You know, Nintendo, they got stuff coming. You know, we have Skyward Sword HD coming later, I think next month. We have the possibility of the Zelda collection. And, you know, with Nintendo, there's always going to be some surprises. And even then, even if there's some surprises, you know, it at least will be a pretty enjoyable watch. They always make their stuff a pretty fun viewing experience. So it's not going to be as sterile as some other shows we've seen this year. So yeah, you know, it's going to be pretty exciting. So I'm going to call right there, and I will see you next time as we get to the end of the E3 coverage. Hope you enjoyed this short watch. See ya.